What's happening, y'all? It's your girl, the Hip Hop Mama, Princess Best, and I speak because I seek to heal, empower, amplify, activate, and liberate the voices of women and girls so that we can have better communities and a better world. Big shout out to all those who came on Instagram and Facebook Live with me last night. Thank you all for participating in the conversation. It is never over because there's always work to do. And I woke up this morning and just thinking about what I wanted to follow up on. And part of, the mission of Lessons of Lyrics is to really within, I always say that my tagline is, you can heal a whole mind with just one dope line. You can birth a new mind with just one dope rhyme. And the goal of all of my artistry, especially my rhymes, are to do just that, right? To power pack a line, 2 lines, a verse, a rhyme, so that it would powerfully shift the way in which people's lives move. And I want to say this because I want to delve deeper into the statements about the foster care system and CPS. And again, this doesn't apply to everyone. People driving crazy, you know what I'm saying? This doesn't apply to everyone. This does not apply to every foster parent. This does not apply to every foster care or child protective service system. But in the sense, what we're talking about is the overall system. What I know is, going back to what I say, like in terms of, I deal with girl clients from ages, elementary age on up to college and adult age. And what I do know is I can count numerously the experiences of how many girls and women who had been subjugated to foster care, where the foster care system was not a better environment than the environment that they were in. And so when I say, like, foster care safe, where some of our girls get raped, the cost might be much less if we invest in mom's mind state. Let me say that again. Like foster care safe, where some of our girls get raped, the cost might be much less if we invest in mom's mind state, right? And what I mean by that is this: if there are deep things going on within a mother's mental health, and we remove the children from the home, and I was speaking specifically to daughters, but in general, removing them, we remove them from the home. One, we do not have a guarantee that they will be in a better environment, right? And then the second piece is that we do not fix the root of some of the issues. So again, it's like when you can take a person out of what we think is a toxic situation, but if we don't fix the root, and the root is the womb, and that is why the WombPrint is so important. You understand? Because if you take that child for 6 months, if you take that child for a year, or however long, it does not matter if we do not do the work, the resources, and everything needed to be able to heal the mother's health, the father's health, all of the people involved, but particularly the mother. And I say particularly the mother because of the fact that the mother holds the womb energy, and womb energy can transform, create, or destroy many things, right? And so understanding that when our response to a mother's lack of positive mental health is just to remove things and never to heal it. You see what I'm saying? We're very good in this world and society about, okay, just take that out and then it'll work out fine, and just pull that out. But then that's the reason why people never get healed. And so again, these things, I've seen time and time again, particularly for girls, when girls are left in vulnerable environments. And again, this is not a diss to my great foster care parents. There are some foster care parents who care very deeply for children, and I respect you. I love you. I thank you for doing the selfless act that you do. But I'm speaking more oftentimes than not, many children, when they are removed from their mother's care, often end up in worse situations. And from the outside looking in, it might be better if they're getting food and water and shelter. But fuck the food if they getting raped. You know what I'm saying? You know, fuck the fact that they got two quote unquote sober parents in the home if they're being violated, if they're not being valued. And so sometimes we have to look at what cost, right? At what cost do we sacrifice not working on a mother's mental health, right? And I say the cost would be less, because if we imagine how many situations where Child Protective Services, Child and Family Services has been called, children have been removed, and I'm like, again, I'm going back because my, you know, like, I care about all children, but I'm talking about this mother-daughter relationship, right? And I'm talking about how it impacts them, you know, to have a daughter removed from her mother, right? And then she doesn't even get to see if the mother did get to work on herself, what that looks like. And that's often a problem too. You know, we sometimes go into hiding and don't show our children our process. And some of it is fucking ugly. You know what I mean? Some of it ain't cute, you know, and I get it. We don't want to traumatize and re-traumatize our children. But it is important for our daughters, in particular, when it comes to mothers, for them to see our process, right? Because if they don't see our process, they think this shit is magic, okay? They think that you fucking just poof, you woke up like this, you woke up like this, and bitch, you didn't wake up like this, okay? You did not. It took some work, it took some dying, it took some awareness, it took some pain, it took some hurt, it took some shit. You understand? And if they don't see you process, then they become adult women who do not know how to facilitate or control their emotions because they never see you fucking process shit. And that's what I mean about why the cost. It's too much of a cost, right? It's too much of a cost when we don't do the work where the womb begins. You know what I'm saying? And then we try to figure out how externally we do that. You understand? When many of the kids who are removed, they still want to be with their parents. They still want, you know, and sometimes people are sick. Do not get me wrong. People are sick. Sometimes they are not fit. Sometimes they are not well enough to take care. Sometimes that is the case. But sometimes motherfuckers can be helped. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes there is another way. Sometimes we got to work a little harder. We got to care a little more. We got to say, we got to try every angle. We got to see, just like when I work in schools, every teacher, every admin, every person is not going to connect with every student. And that's okay. Just like if we send a mother to get help, something we give up after the first time and we be like, well, she don't want shit. She don't want it. Now, that could be true, or it could be you ain't sent the right motherfucker that could connect with her and speak her language. And so instead of trying to maneuver it, now if you done tried 20 times, okay, I understand you giving up. But if you tried once or twice, maybe you haven't found the right vibration, you know? If you're a traumatized person, if you're a person who've experienced trauma, trust is not going to be your major factor. You know, you're going to be looking at everybody with the side eye. So I just want people to understand, like foster kids safe, where some of our girls get raped, the cost might be much less if we invest in mom's mind state. Can we start investing in some of the women, some of the mothers who we feel that their mental health is not intact? What kinds of things can we do? We might can't do a whole 360 or 180 but can we do 90? In what ways right now, with the women that you know, with the mothers that you know, can you contribute a small piece to advancing their positive mental health? Let's think about that. Let's not think about what we think they ain't gonna do, right? But what can you do to add to it? If we all are focused on the idea that if we all put a little deposit into the womb, the positive mental health of mothers, how much better will families be? If we can operate from that place, from an agape place in that way, this is how we can heal ourselves, we can heal within, and we can heal well. And tomorrow we're going to be talking about that. And my BARZ Heal Scars at Sankofa Video and Books, 2714 Georgia Avenue. Join me if you're in the DMV area. If not, cop the book and I'll be at a city near you soon. Let's continue this conversation. This is the Hip Hop Mama, Princess Best. Peace, y'all.